Hi guys, so welcome to the discussion of mock 19 quantitative ability section, right? So again, I think it was not a very difficult paper, a very easy paper. I could see a series of questions which were doable, a lot of questions coming up from arithmetic. So hoping that you should have got a good score in this paper. Let's start discussing it. So the minute I start with the first question is talking about percentage and votes. Okay. So the first question says there are two candidates who contested in an election. Okay, at the election, 12% of the people on the voting list did not vote. So I'm talking about 12 percentage of the people in the voting list. So I assume that total people in the voting list is 100x. So people who did not vote, okay, are going to be 12x. Now 80 votes were recorded as illegal. So further, I know that the illegal votes, IRL illegal votes were how many, guys? Illegal votes were 80. Now, what will be the legal votes? You need to understand that if 12x people did not vote, it's going something like this, okay? If 12x people did not vote, then the people who voted are the remaining ones, that is 88x. And out of 88x, when people voted, the number of illegal votes were 80. So the number of legal votes or legitimate votes were 88x minus 80. This is how the actual flow would look like. Okay. The majority of the successful candidate was 406. Now we know that the word majority means the difference between the number of winner and the number of votes by winner and the number of votes by loser. Okay, so let me assume that if one of the guy gets Y, then the second guy gets Y plus 406 because the difference between them should be 406. Right, and I'm also told that this guy is supported by, and it was found that he had been supported by 48% of total votes on the voting list. So I can say that Y plus 406 is equal to 48 percentage, which is 48x. Clear? The second information that I can use is, since I've used two variables, the second information that we can use is something like this, that Y plus, so I'm writing it here. So you have Y plus 406, which is equal to 88x minus 80. Clear, guys? So I would write my two equations on these lines. So this becomes Y plus 406 is equal to 48x. And the second equation gives me 2y plus 486 will give me 88x. So to equate, or let me cancel the value of y. So when I multiply by 2, my equations would look like this. So 2y plus 2 6 are 12 and 2 4s are 8, which is equal to 96x. And similarly, you have 2y plus 486 is equal to 88x. So minus and a minus, y gets cancelled. So we have a value called 8x, which is equal to, you get carry from here. So this becomes, or let's go reverse. 486 plus 6 is 492. 492 plus 20 is 512 plus 300 is 812. So this becomes 326 is the value of 8x. Clear? Now let's pause and see what is the question asking us. The question is asking us how many legal votes were polled in favor of the successful candidate. Now I know that successful candidate got 48x votes. So if 8x is equal to 326, I know that 48x will be 8x into 6, which will be 326 into 6, which will give us how much, guys? 6 6 is 36, 6 I carry 3, 12 plus 3 is 15, 5 I carry 1, and 6 3 is 18, 18 plus 1 is 19. So your answer in this case becomes 1956. Clear? So that should be your required answer. And not a difficult question according to me. It's a basic question on percentages. So first question, you should have definitely solved this question. So 3 marks on your bag in the beginning of the paper. Right? Now let's get the second question. Again, a very used to question here. A salesman used to get a commission of 8% of his total monthly sales in June. Okay. So if I assume that total monthly sales in June was 100x, the commission of salesman becomes 8x. Now, with a change in the terms and in terms of employment, July, he gets a fixed amount of 2000 rupees plus a commission of 4% on the excess of sales over 8,000. So 4% of excess of sales over 8,000 is total sales minus 8,000. How much is the sales more than 8,000? Okay. If the commission earned in July exceeds that of June by 600, which means the difference is given to us, even when the total sales remain the same. So total sales here becomes 100x. Okay, so this is the commission in July, which is 600 more, which means July minus June is equal to 600. So it's a pretty easy question to calculate now, guys. This is 2000. 4% of 100 will give you 4x. 0000 gets cancelled. So you get a minus 320. Then we get a minus 8x is equal to 600. So what do we get from here? So 600 comes here, which becomes 1400. 1400 minus 320, which will give us how much, guys? 1080 will be equal to 4x. Clear? If 1080 is equal to 4x, then the value of x will be 4 2s, and then 270 is the value of x. Now, what is the question asking us? The question is asking us find the total sales. We know that the total sales were 100x, which is going to be 270 into 100, and that is going to be 27,000 rupees. Clear? So this becomes the sales of the total sales value here, right? So again, a very easy question. So straightforward, 3 more marks. So 2 questions to be directly converted in the first 2 questions of the paper. Now let's look at the next one. The sum of the 4 numbers is given as y, that is p plus q plus r plus s. And if the sum of if the sum is found by taking the reciprocals of them, that is 1 by p plus 1 by q plus 1 by r plus 1 by s. And all we need is the minimum possible value of the product of these two. Clear? Product of y into z is represented as m, and the question is asking you minimum possible value of m. Now, maximum enough. The best part of this question is we had seen a similar question in the classroom model. So there are 2 ways of solving this. First way is just expand the brackets. So p into 1 by p will give you p here. P into 1 by q will give us p by q. Then we get p by r, and then we get p by s. Similarly, we will get q by p with q. Q into 1 by q will give you q. Q into 1 by r will give you q by r, and then you have q by s. Clear? Right? Or let me start doing it this way. Just 1 second. P into 1 by p will give you 1. Let me erase this part, okay? Let me start writing this way. So this is 1. Now with q, q into 1 by p will give you q by p. Okay? Similarly, q into 1 by q will give you 1 here. Q into 1 by r. Let's say I'm writing it as q by r. Okay, let me write this as q by r. And then I have something called q by s. Now let's go with r. R into 1 by p gives me r by p. Clear? R into 1 by q gives me r by q. So just keep on adding all of them. Just writing it in pairs. R into 1 by r will give you 1. And r into 1 by s will give you, let's say, r by s. Similarly, s into 1 by p will give me p by s or s by p. Clear? S into 1 by q will give me s by q. S into 1 by r will give me s by r. And I have plus 1. Now, why am I writing like this? Because if you observe, this is p by q plus q by p. Now, we know that p by q plus q by p is in the form of a plus 1 by a. Now, the value of a plus 1 by a is always greater than or equal to 2. We have seen this. So the value of this is equal to 2. Similarly, p by r plus r by p, whenever they are reciprocals of each other, the minimum value is 2. This value is also going to be 2 here. Similarly, q by r plus r by q will also give you 2. Q by s plus s by q will also give you 2. And this will also give us 2. So when I add all of them, what do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minimum value is 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. So the minimum value of this sum will be greater than or equal to 16. If it is greater than or equal to 16, that means the minimum possible value is equal to 16. This is one way where we have seen this as a direct question in the class. Now, what is the next method that we can also apply? We can also apply, if I see P plus Q plus R plus S, and I'm seeing the inverse part of it. Okay, now this is where the harmonic mean comes into picture. Clear? So the condition that we apply is arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean, which is also greater than or equal to harmonic mean. Now, what is harmonic mean of two terms? Clear? If I talk about harmonic mean of A comma B, then harmonic mean of A comma B will be 2 divided by 1 by A plus 1 by B, or which is n divided by the reciprocals of the terms. So here, if I look at arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to harmonic mean, I would write this as P plus Q plus R plus S divided by 4 is greater than or equal to harmonic mean of these four terms will be 4 divided by reciprocals of these. So when we cross multiply these two, we get the value of y into z is greater than or equal to 16. So therefore, the minimum possible value of this product becomes 16. So I don't see a reason why you should not be solving this, because it's a question which is coming directly from the classroom models, right? So therefore, three questions that you should have converted right at the beginning of the paper. Clear, guys? Let's move to the fourth question, which is again a very easy question on speed, time, and distance. Now, Yoga Express left Haridwar at increasing its speed in each hour. It started its journey from Ahmedabad, but after 4 hours of its journey, it met with an accident. Okay, now it's increasing the speed in every hour: first hour, second hour, third hour, and fourth hour. Its speed in the fourth hour is 7 by 5 terms of the third hour. In the third hour is 10 by 7 terms of the second hour. And the second hour is 7 by 5 terms in of the first hour. So let me assume that the first hour is a multiple of 5. So second hour will be 7 by 5 of 5. That will be 7x. Third hour will be 10 by 7 of 7. That will be how much, guys? 10x. And fourth hour will be 7 by 5 of 10x, which will be how much, guys? That will be 14x. Clear? Right? So if it would have traveled with half the speed of the third hour, that means every hour, if it would have traveled at 5x, 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 and 5x. Clear? So 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 10 is 22, 22 plus 14 is 36. So ideally it is traveling 36 kilometers, 36x kilometers. And as per the question, it would have traveled 20x kilometers in 4 hours. Then it would have traveled 160 kilometers less in 4 hours. So 36x minus 20x, which will give us how much, guys? So the gap between them will give us 16x, which is equal to 160, or the value of x is equal to 10. Now, what is the question asking us? The question is asking us to calculate the average speed of the entire journey. Now, the average speed is 5 plus 7, or this is the same thing, 36x is the total distance divided by total time is 4 hours. So therefore, the average speed of the entire journey becomes 9x kilometers an hour. And since the value of x is equal to 10, 10 into 9, this becomes 90 kilometers per hour becomes the average speed of the entire journey. Clear? And therefore, option A becomes your answer. So not a difficult question. So you can see that first 4 questions in a row are doable. So prospective number of questions that you should have solved is 4 in this paper already. Fifth question, again, preach to our eyes, because we are talking about time and work. So K, P, and S can do a piece of work working together in how many days? In 2 days. K is 6 times as efficient as P, and P takes 5 times the number of days as Sachin takes. This is number of days. So if P by S in terms of number of days is equal to 5 by 1, this is number of days. And we know that number of days is inversely proportional to efficiency. So ratio of efficiency will become how much, guys? 1:5. So let me take this as 1 parts. Let me take this as 5 parts. And I know that K is 6 times as efficient as P. So I will take this as 6 parts. So 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 5 is 12. So this becomes 12. So 12 into 2, my total work now becomes 24 units. Clear? What will be the difference between the number of days taken by Piyush and Tadal? So 24. So this becomes 4 and this becomes 24. So difference between the number of days is 24 minus 4. So 24 minus 4 and your answer is going to be how many days, guys? Your answer is going to be 20 days. So first 5 questions, all of them are easy, straightforward, no complications involved and doable questions. Clear, guys? Let's move to the next question, please. Yep. Now, the next question says Garib Das borrows rupees 7,000 from Amir Chand at the beginning of the year at simple interest. The minute the question is talking about simple interest, I should be smiling and moving ahead. After 9 months, he borrows rupees 3,000 more from Amir Chand at a rate of interest which is double that of the former borrowing. And when did he buy? He bought after 9 months. Important keywords. At the end of the year, the sum of the interest on both his loans is 1020. So 7,000 he has borrowed for how long, guys? 7,000 he has borrowed for 1 year. So P into T into R divided by 100. The 3,000 rupees he borrowed after 9 months. If I'm talking about after 9 months, which means this 3,000 was invested for how many months? Only 3 months. So time becomes 3 into 12. 100, and the rate of efficiency, the rate at which it was delivered was twice that of the previous rate. Now this sum total should be equal to 1020. I think it's a pretty easy question and straightforward question. So let's cancel this with 12, right? So 3 tens are, and this is 3 fours. This is 2 ones and this is 2 twos and this is 2 ones and this is 2 fives. So what do we have here? We have 70R plus 15R is equal to 1020, or we get 85R is equal to 1020, or the value of R is equal to 1020 divided by 85. Now 85 is a multiple of 17. 17 fives are, and I know that 17 sixes are is 102, so 17 60s. Now 60 by 5, eventually the rate of interest here is going to be how much, guys? The rate of interest is going to be 12%. Clear? So how many questions? 5. The sixth question of the paper, and which was again an easy and doable question. So I don't think so that this paper needs a lot of explanation, or I would say this paper was a very easy paper because set of first 6 questions were coming up from arithmetic and it pushes us to solve each and every question. Clear? Now the seventh question of the paper is again very easy. So whenever I see a cube plus b cube plus c cube, the first thing I need to check is, guess what? If the value, or is the value of a plus b plus c is equal to 0. If the value of a plus b plus c is equal to 0, in that case a cube plus b cube plus c cube becomes equal to 3 times of a into b into c. Now, what is the value of a here? The value of a is 144, the value of b is 22, and the value of c is equal to 166. So 144 plus 22 plus of minus 166. Clear? This is equal to 0. So therefore, what is the value of ABC? So the value of a cube plus b cube plus c cube would be 3 times of a into b into c. Now, which of the numbers necessarily divide both the numbers? Clear? Now, if I look at it, 11 and 13, let's go by options directly here, guys. So if I go with 11 in and 13, so if I go with 11, 11 divides, no problem. But does 13 divide them? 13 does not divide them. So the first option is not your answer. Let's go with second one, both 12 and 83. So is it divisible by 12 and 83 both? Let's see, 12 ones are 12 12s are, 83 ones are 83 twos are, that is 166. So therefore, yes, it is divisible by both 12 and 83. Therefore, your answer becomes option B. So not a difficult question again with this one. The seventh question was another an easy question that you should have definitely tried and you should have solved this question. Clear, guys? Now, this was a slightly tricky question where you need to understand what is happening. The first point where this question would have become easy is 3, 4, and 5, which turns out to be a right angle triangle. So if it is chord 3 and this is chord 4, then let's say this becomes chord 5. And this is 90 degrees. So now since we're talking about these are my chords, if I draw a circle, it would look something like this, or kindly excuse me, let me draw a circle first. So let's draw a circle first. And then let's say chord 3 and then chord 4, and this becomes chord 5. Now this is a 90 degrees, and I know that the angle at the semicircle is 90, which means this acts as my diameter. Now you can check if this chord subtends, let's say x angle, x degrees, this chord subtends y, and the chord subtends x plus y at the center. That should be your catching point. It was a slightly tricky question. So what is the radius of the question? If this is 3 and this is 4, then this becomes 5, and radius is going to be the midpoint. Therefore, the midpoint is going to be 2.5. Therefore, your answer here becomes 2.5. So I'm not considering this as a question that you should have solved, but yeah, if you're able to pick up this guess, then this should have been a very easy question to look at. Clear? Let's look at the next question, guys. Ninth question of the paper. Again, a time and work question. So A can do a piece of work in 90 days. B can do the same work in 40 days. And C can do the same work in 12 days. So 90 and 40, let's say 360 and 12. 360 is the LCM. So this guy takes 30, this guy takes 9, and this guy takes 4. On first day, A works, second day, B works, and the third day, C works. They work in a day only one person turn by turn. Now, after that, this cycle is repeated till the work is finished. Okay. So it's A first, then B next, and then C next. That means in a span of 3 days, 30 plus 13, that is 43 units are over. Clear? Now 43 into 9. What is 43 into 9? That will be more than 360. So let's take 43 into 8. That's 8 to the 24. 4 I carry 3. 8 4 the 32. 32 plus 3 is 35. So 354 units are done in how many days, guys? 24 days. Now next is the turn of A coming in. A does how many units, guys? 4 units. Clear? So 8 to the 24. So this is 344, my bad. A completes 4 units, so 348 is done. Then B completes the next day. B completes 9 units, that is 357. So C comes for 1/10th of the day and completes 3 units. And therefore, a total of 360 is completed. Clear, guys? So how many days did A work for? A worked for 8 plus 1, 9 days. So total work done by A is 9 into 4, 36 out of 360. And the amount given is 240, which means A gets how much, guys? 24 rupees. So option A goes for a toss. Option C also goes for a toss. Now B also worked for 9 days. So B did 9 into 9, that is 81, divided by 360 into 240. So this is 2s and this is 3s. 3 ones are 3 threes are. So 9 threes are 27, 27 twos are 54 is the value of B. So with 24, 54, the only combination that works for us is option B. Clear? So yes, this should become your 8th question of a paper, 8 out of 9th question. So very easy, except the previous question. I believe rest all the questions have been easy, not very difficult. Let's move forward. Excuse me. Yeah. So now what am I looking at? So this is a very beautiful question on squares. Clear. So if I'm talking about square, I'm given that the square of PQRS of side length 1 centimeter is given. Okay, let me change the ink here. Yeah. So this side is 1. Okay. If this side is 1, this figure was also given for your understanding. The radius is 1 by root 3. So I can say from here that OB is equal to 1 by root 3. And I can say OA is also equal to 1 by root 3, which means can I say that OAB is an isosceles triangle? Clear? Now, if I have an isosceles triangle, if I drop a perpendicular from the vertex to the unequal side, it bisects my base. Let's say this part is equal to x and this part is also equal to x. Now, before that, what am I trying to calculate, guys? I'm trying to calculate this part, okay? If you observe, the question says the area inside the circle but outside the square. That means I want this part x. Let's say this part A. I want this part B. And I want this part C. And all of them will be equal in area. Now, how will I calculate that? I will calculate that something like this. I'll calculate the area of this sector. Okay. So sector OAB, I'm calculating the area of sector OAB. From there, I'll subtract the triangle OAB and I multiply this how many times, guys? 4 times. That will be the area inside the circle but outside the square. So that OAB is an isosceles triangle. Then if I drop this line, so OX, okay. Now, can I say that OX is equal to half unit because the side of the square is 1. And I'm dropping, so this line that is OX will be, and this line, these two will give you 1 unit here. Right? So OX will be half unit. So if you OX will be half unit and OB is 1 by root 3. So can I say the value of XB? Which is going to be how much, guys? XB will be OB, that is 1 by root 3 whole square by using Pythagoras theorem, minus 1 by 2 whole square whole root over. Which will give us how much, guys? This is 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 whole root over. I will get root over of 1 by 12. So since we get root over of 1 by 12, now what am I looking at? We are looking at 2 times of this becomes AB. So the value of AB will be 2 times of root 1 by root 12 becomes 1 by 2 root 3. 2 gets cancelled, which means AB is also equal to 1 by root 3. If AB is also equal to 1 by root 3, I can say that OAB is an equilateral triangle. Clear? So if OAB is an equilateral triangle, that means I can say that angle AOB is equal to 60 degrees. So what is area of the sector now? So area of the sector OAB will be pi into r square into theta by 360. Minus, we will subtract the area of the equilateral triangle. That is root 3 by 4 into A. Into A is going to be 1 by root 3 into 1 by root 3. So this becomes 1 by 6. Clear? So 1 by root 3 into 1 by root 3 is common in both. If you want to simplify this. So I can take 1 by root 3 into 1 by root 3 will give you 1 by 3 common. So here you have pi divided by 6 minus you have root 3 by. Clear? If you want, we can just simplify on these lines here. So after simplification, we should be able to get our answer. So this is 1 by 3 into this becomes 12. If this becomes 12, this is 2 pi minus this is 3 root 3. Clear? Or if you want, we can further simplify this. So we can simplify and get our answer here, guys. So once we simplify and get our answer, our final answer becomes 2 pi minus 3 root 3. So 2 pi by 9. Clear? Minus 1 by root 3 becomes your answer. So you can simplify this and you'll get your answer from here. Clear? So this into 4 becomes your answer. Now do not forget this. This whole thing into 4 will give you the final answer. Clear? So let's assume this as 2 pi minus 3 root 3 divided by 36 into 4. So 4 ones are 4 nines are. So 2 pi by 9 is what we have. So I can write this as 2 pi by 9 minus this can be 3 root 3 divided by 9, which is 3 ones are 3 threes are. So root 3 by 3 is 1 by root 3. Therefore, option C becomes your answer. So not a very difficult question, but yeah, not a very easy too. And at the same time, it's a lengthy question. So I'm not considering this to be solved. So far, I'm looking at 8 prospective questions of the paper. Let's move to the next question. The next question is talking about profit and loss. Okay. So if I talk about profit and loss here, so what am I given here, guys? Yep. So we are given Anu bought a refrigerator for 4 years ago for rupees 8,000 rupees. So she bought at 8,000 rupees. The current market price of a similar refrigerator was 14,000 rupees. Okay. If Anu sells the refrigerator in the condition it is in, she will get 9,600 without additional expenses. Cost price, selling price. Instead, if she gets painted, okay, so let's say 8,000 and she gets painted for 2,500 rupees. That means now the cost price would become 10,500. She will be able to sell at 14,000 as the selling price. What percentage discount can Anu offer over the current market price? Okay. If she sells the refrigerator after getting it painted, okay, this much, but expects to make the same percentage profit as she would have sold, as she would have made had she sold in the same condition it was in. That means I want to know the percentage profit here. So she's making a profit of 1,600 on a cost price of 8,000 multiplied by 100. Clear? Which is going to be how much, guys? She's making a 20% profit. Which means to make the same 20% profit, right? So I repeat, profit here would be 20%. That is 1 by 5 of 105 double zero. This is 5 ones are 520 ones are. That means she wants to make a profit of 2,100, which means eventually she would have got to the selling price that she intends to have is 12,600. Clear? Now the question is asking you what discount will it be given on the marked price, right? So therefore 12,600, which means she can give a discount of 1,400 on a marked price of 14,000 multiplied by 100, and your answer in this case becomes 10% discount is to be given. Clear, guys? So not a very difficult question here. So it's a very easy question. So I think this should be the 9th question of your paper that you should have definitely capitalized and you should have tried getting your answer off. Right? So let's look at the next question, guys. Yeah, let's solve this question, guys. Now, this question says Siam, that is a society, conducted a survey among 6,000 office goers of the cities of Delhi and Calcutta to find out how many among them owned two-wheelers and how many among them owned four-wheelers. Okay. Apart from the fact that each one of the office goers, this was the 9th question. Okay. Each one of the office goers owned at least one of these, means among all the office goers, 3,500 belonged to Delhi. Let's go step by step, guys. So we knew that total were 6,000. Out of 6,000, the people belong to Delhi were 3,500 and the people belong to Kolkata were 2,500. Okay. Then we were also told that 35% out of these 3,500, 35% owned both the means of transport. Okay. Both the means, that means we are going towards Venn diagrams. So let's make a Venn diagram for Delhi people. So total is 3,500 and 35% of 3,500. Now 35% of 3,500 becomes here, guys, 35 square. Now what is 35 square? 35 square becomes 1225 because it's a number ending with 5 whole square. So 5 square ends with 25 and the left hand side part becomes 3 into 4. So this is 1225 owned both the means. And I know that 1800 people owned two-wheelers, which means this part becomes how much, guys? 575. So if 1800 owned two-wheelers, this circle was two-wheelers. Total number of people going to Delhi were 3500. So can I say four-wheelers here were 1700? Only four-wheelers. So you can add all the three of them. The sum of three of them should be equal to 3500. Clear? So Delhi is done. Now, among the office goers who owned a two-wheeler and also belonged to Calcutta. Now let's talk about Calcutta. People who own two-wheeler and also belong to Calcutta, 40% of them owned four-wheelers also. And among the office goers surveyed, 4,000 people own two-wheelers. Out of 4,000, now you can look at this. 4,000 owned two-wheelers. Out of that, 1,800 were in Delhi. That means 2,200 were in Calcutta. So 40% of this owned both. So 40% of 2,200 becomes 880. If this is 880, then this becomes 900. So this is going to be 1320. Clear? Now the logic is quite simple. If total Calcutta is 2,500 and this circle itself is 2,200, that means only car will be how much, guys? 300. Because this value plus this value should be equal to 2,500 and 1,800 plus this value should give us 3,500. So what is the number of office goers that owned four-wheelers? Clear? As well as two-wheelers. So four-wheelers as well as two-wheelers, which means I want including both. So this is 1225 plus 880. So this becomes 5, this becomes 0, this becomes 1, and this becomes 2. So therefore, 2105 becomes our answer. A beautiful question on Venn diagrams. I'm not considering this to be a question to be converted, but yes, if you are good at Venn diagrams, you should have definitely converted this question. Clear? Now let's look at this question. Now this question is again a very interesting question. So you have y minus 1 is equal to cube root of 2 plus cube root of y is equal to 1 plus cube root of 2 plus cube root of 4. Now the easiest way to solve, and the question is talking about y cube and so on, so on, so on. Easiest way to solve is, let me convert this as a two variable question on both the sides. So this is cube root of 2 plus cube root of 4. Now, since the question is talking about y cube, let's cube on both the sides. So once I cube on both the sides, what do I get? I get y cube minus 1 minus 3 into y into 1 into y minus 1. Right hand side will be 2 cube whole cube is 2. 4 cube whole cube is 4. Plus 3 into a into b. 3 into 2 to the power 1 by 3 into 4 to the power 1 by 3. Into a plus b. Now, a plus b, instead of a plus b, I can always write y minus 1. So my left hand side would give you y cube minus 1 minus 3y square plus 3y. And my left hand side gives me 6 plus cube root of 2 into cube root of 4 will be cube root of 8, that is 2. So 3 into 2 will give you 6. That is 6y minus 6. So plus 6 minus 6 gets cancelled. Let's bring 6y on my left hand side. So what do I get? I get y cube minus 3y square. And then I get minus 3y. But I have a minus 1 is equal to 0. And the question is asking you plus 1. So from minus 1, if I want to move down to plus 1, I'm adding 2 to my left hand side. And therefore, I add 2 to my right hand side. So our final value here becomes y cube minus 3y square minus 3y plus 1 should be equal to 2. And that is going to be your answer. Clear, guys? Let's move to the next question. Now, This question says there are two drain pipes A and B attached to a cylindrical tank in the house of Miss Smith. She notices that when both the taps are opened together, the tank is emptied in S minutes. If only A is opened, it takes M minutes more than S minutes to empty. And if only B is opened, it takes N minutes more than S minutes to empty. It was a model that we had seen in time and work, guys. If A takes M days more than what A and B take, and B takes N days more than what A and B take, then the value of S is a direct formula based question. Value of S is equal to square root of M into N, and therefore the answer here becomes option D. Clear? So D would be your answer completely here. Moving to the next question here, guys. It was simple formula based question. So I would say, yeah, after 9th question, I would say this can be a definite 10th question to be solved. Because this is a question again directly coming up from the classroom model. If you want, you can also simplify this. This is N. Then R. So total work becomes S into S plus M into S plus N. So this becomes S into S plus N, that is S square plus NS, plus this becomes S into S plus M, that is S square plus SM, which is equal to, this will be S into S plus M into S minus S plus N. So this will give you what, guys? S square plus SN plus SM plus MN. S square gets cancelled, NS gets cancelled, SM gets cancelled. So eventually we have S square is equal to MN, or the value of S is equal to root over of M. This becomes our answer. Clear? So you can also derive it if you want in the exam, but you can also directly go ahead with it. Now, this is again a very simple question that you should have definitely converted. So this becomes my 11th question of the paper. Very easy one, because I'm given f of 1 already. I want f of 6. Let's go ahead. If f of 1 is given, let's apply x is equal to 1 here. So what do I get? I get f of 2 into 1, that is 2, is equal to 4 times of f of 1 plus 6. Now 4 times of f of 1 becomes 4 into 1 plus 6, which is equal to 10. Clear? So this is giving me f of 2. Now I want f of 6, guys. If I want f of 6, I want the value of x is equal to 4. If I want value of x is equal to 4, let me again replace value of x is equal to 2 here. If I replace that value of x is equal to 2 here, then I get f of 2 into 2, that is 4, is equal to 4 times of f of 2 plus 6. So what do I get, guys? I get f of 4 is equal to 4 into 10, that is 40. 40 plus 6 is equal to 46. Now I will finally go with f of 4 plus 2 is equal to f of 4 plus 12 into 4, that is 48, plus 12. So 48 plus 12 is equal to 60. And f of 4 we already have is equal to 46. 46 plus 60, our answer here becomes 106. That should be the required answer. Clear, guys? So this would have been the 11th question of the paper. That should have definitely been converted in the exam, right? Excluding the complicated ones. But these 11 ones were very easy, that you should have picked up from the classroom models as well. Now, this is again a very good question, but the minute I'm seeing a right angle triangle, the job becomes a little easy. Okay. So there's a triangle ABC, which is a right angle triangle with A and B. AB and BC are equal to 9 and 12 centimeters. So let me do one thing here. Let me draw the triangle here so that we can use the other part to calculate. A, B, B, C, 9, 12, 3 into 3, 3 into 4. And this will become 3 into 5. That is 15. Okay. Not very important. If a perpendicular draw is drawn from B, D on AC. So there's a right angle triangle inside a right angle triangle. Remember, guys, we can apply the concept of similarity here. So opposite to 90 is a multiple of 5. So I can take if 5x is equal to, this will be 5x, or let's say 5k. Let's take this, guys. The best way to prove similarity, if you remember, I taught you was a very simple one. One of the angles is equal to x, so this angle becomes 90 minus x. So remember, opposite to x, I repeat, opposite to x is a multiple of 3. So in this triangle also, opposite to x will be a multiple of 3. Opposite to 90 is a multiple of 5. So therefore, this value becomes multiple of 4. So if 5k is equal to 12, that means the value of k is equal to 2.4. The value of k is equal to 2.4. This becomes 3 into 2.4, that is 7.2. And this becomes 4 into 2.4, that is 9.6. Now, which is an incircle of triangle BDC. Okay, so we are drawing an incircle also. Then the area of the remaining portion of the BDC except circle. Which means this question is asking you area of BDC minus area of the circle. Clear? Right? Now what is BDC? BDC will be half into base. Base is equal to 7.2 into height. Height is equal to 9.6. Now for a triangle, how do I calculate in radius? In radius of a triangle is equal to area is equal to R into S. So in radius will be area by semi-perimeter. Clear? What is the area of this triangle? The area of this triangle is half into 7.2 into 9.6, which is equal to R divided by semi-perimeter. What is semi-perimeter? That is A plus B plus C divided by 2, which is 12 plus 7.2 plus 9.6 divided by 2. So this gets cancelled. Now 12, 7 plus 9 is going to be how much? 16 is 16.8. So we have 7.2 into 9.6 divided by, this is 16.8 plus 12. That is 28.8. So 7.2 into 4 is equal to 28.8. And 4 into 4 into 2.4 will be the value of R. So what is the area of the circle? Area of the circle is equal to pi into R square, that is 2.4 whole square. Let's simplify this here, guys. So this is 2 into 4.8. So what can we write here? We can write this as 2.4 into 3 into, I can write this as 2.4 into 2 minus pi into 2.4 whole square, which can, this can be written as 2.4 whole square into 6 minus pi into 2.4 whole square. So all that we can do is we can take 2.4 whole square common. Clear? Into, I can have 6 minus pi. Clear, guys? Now 2.4, what is 2.4 whole square? That is 576. So 576 divided by 100 into 6 minus pi is what we have. Clear? Let's see. 576 is 4 into 144 and 4 into 25. So our final answer becomes 144 by 25 into 6 minus 5. So 144 by 25 is there in all of them. 54 by 9 is equal to 6 minus pi. So this is satisfying. So therefore, our answer in this case becomes option B. So not a very difficult question, but yes, not a question to be solved also. So I'm not adding this in your list. So far, we have only 11 questions from this paper that we could have definitely solved easily. Now, these are the certain questions that we would have come back in the second round and see if in case we had time left, then we would have come back and we would have solved these questions. Right? Let's move to the next question, guys. Yep. So what does the next question talk about, guys? The next question says, in a dairy technology lab at university, a technician fills a holding tank of capacity 50 liters by using 3 different pipes. Okay. The rate of flow of each pipe is 1 liter per minute. The first pipe pours only milk. The pipe with milk is represented by M in, yeah. The second pours only water. Let me represent as W. And the third one is a mixture. If it's a mixture of milk and water, let me write it as A. Okay. Now this delivers milk and water in the ratio of 2:3. At any given instance, only one of the pipes is opened. Each pipe is opened to fill its content into the holding tank for exactly 5 minutes, after which it is replaced by one of the other two pipes. I did not tell you that all the three pipes are being used. Are you getting it? So 5 minutes each. So if this is open, this guy will deliver 5 liters or pour 5 liters. This guy will pour 5 liters of water, and this tap will pour 2 liters of milk and 3 liters of water. Let's understand the scheme. The scheme here says I can play milk, or I can open milk first, the tap with milk. Then I can open water. Then again, I can keep on going on these lines, guys. The only thing is they cannot be consecutive. So can I have something of this kind? Yes, I can have 5 milks and 5 waters. But you need to remember, I cannot have more than 5 times, because more than 5 times will be 2 consecutive times, which is not acceptable. But can I have less than 5? Of course, yes. I can have a combination of milk, water, A. Then let's say milk, water, milk, water, milk, water, and A. So can I have something like this? I can have 5, 3, and 2. Is it acceptable? Yes. I can have 4, 3, 3. Is it acceptable? Of course, yes. So I repeat, it will start from 550, and it can only reduce from there. It cannot increase from there. That means I cannot have a value greater than 5 times, right? Because the question is asking you after 50 minutes. Each one is open for 5 minutes, right? Now let's say that for the first option to happen, how much do I need, guys? I need 2 by 5 of 50. That means I need 5 ones or 5 tens. I need 20 liters of milk. I repeat, if I'm opening the pipe which is delivering water, there's no quantity of milk coming in. So let me say that I'm opening the tap milk X times, the tap that's delivering water, let's say Z times or Y times, and the tap that's delivering the mixture, let's say Z times. What is the quantity of milk I would receive? The quantity of milk I would receive is 5x plus 2Z. Because each time I'm opening tap milk, I get 5 liters. X times I'm opening tap milk, I'll get 5x liters. And I need to also understand that X plus Y plus Z are opened how many times, guys? A total of 10 times. Okay. So 5x plus 2z is equal to 20. Now what we can do is we can play with integer solutions here. Right. So I know that X can be 0 and Z can be 10. Is it acceptable? No, it is not acceptable. Because I repeat, max I can have is 5 and 5. Similarly, can I have the next number as, what do you say? X increases at a gap of 2. So this will be 2. And Z decreases at a gap of 5. So this becomes 2 and 5. Is it acceptable? Of course, yes. 2, 5. So I can say this is 2, this is 5, and this is 3. So 2 5s are 10, 5 2s are 10, 10 plus 10 gives me 20. This is perfectly acceptable. So option A to be correct, I can have milk, water, and a mixture. So the milk tap is opened 2 times, water tap is opened 3 times, and mixture tap is opened 5 times. Let's freeze our final answer. So is option A possible? Yes, option A is possible. Let's go to option B quickly now, guys. So 9 by 16 of, or 9 by 25 of 50. That means we need how many liters, guys? 18 liters. Same application. 5x plus 2z is equal to 18. So if x is equal to 0, z is equal to 9, which is not acceptable. X becomes 2 and then z becomes 4. Is it acceptable? Of course, yes. 2, 4, 4. Yes, this is perfectly acceptable. So option B is also possible with 2 5s are 10 liters, 4 2s are 8 liters, and 0 liters of water. Next part gives me 5x plus 2z is equal to 12. 6 by 25. Now, x is 0, z is equal to 6, which is not acceptable. Now, z reduces by 5, becomes 1. X increases by 2, that is 2. Is 2, 1, then y becomes 7, which is also not acceptable. And anything below this, x becomes 4 and z becomes -4, which is definitely not acceptable. So if you see, option C is not possible in this case to get a total of 12 liters, and therefore our answer in this case becomes option C is not possible. Clear? Right, let's move to the next question. So there are 15 strawberries in a box in which exactly 6 of them are rotten. Okay, so out of 15, there are 6 rotten, which means there are 9 in good condition. Now, what is the probability after 4 days that 8 strawberries are not rotten? So after 4 days, which means 11 strawberries are left. Now I want in good condition, I want them to be 8. And rottens I want is 3. Exactly this combination is what I want. That means in the first 4 days, I am selecting only one good strawberry and I have to select 3 rotten strawberries, right? So 9C1 into rotten are 6, that is 6C3 divided by 15C4 becomes your answer. Clear? Now, if you simplify this, I guess I'd calculated this somewhere. Yeah, so if you simplify this, your answer that you get will be equal to 12 by 91. Very easy question, guys. This should have been the next question of your paper. I guess 12th question. But you should have just known that the term probability is going to be used on these lines. Clear, guys? Let's move to the next question. Now, logs, every time we see a log question, definitely appears in the examination. Clear? Let's solve this question now. One second, guys. Yeah, so let's see this, guys. So we have 2 in the brackets, again 2 logs. Let me simplify this bracket first. So this can be written as log whole root over of p plus q whole square minus this can be written as log 25 to the power 1 by 2. So if I simplify, this part becomes log square and root gets cancelled, that is p plus q minus root over of 25, this becomes log 5. And this whole thing has a 2 outside it. So I can further write this as log p plus q by 5. Inside it, clear? And I have 2 log p plus q by 5 here. Clear? And what do we have on the right hand side? On the right hand side, we can write log pq, continue with log pq, and continue with log pq. So what do we finally have here, guys? So we can write this as log p plus q by 5 whole square is equal to log pq. So your log and log gets cancelled. Now let's open the brackets. This is p square plus q square plus 2pq is equal to 25pq. Or eventually we have p square plus q square minus 23pq is equal to 0. So therefore our answer in this case becomes 0. Clear, guys? So another very easy question of the paper. So this should have been your 13th prospective question of the paper that you should have definitely targeted on. Let's move to the next question, guys. Yep, so let's look at this interesting question, guys. By now, we should have looked at 13 questions. I think this is what we are looking at. Next 2 to 3 questions are slightly complicated. Let's see. So I'm given that a practice session and army personnel in a 2-kilometer long group are walking one behind the other at uniform speed. A commanding officer, so there's a 2-kilometer long troop. So commanding officer starts from the back and walks till the front. That means is walking 2 kilometers by the time the troop is also walking. And then he returns back at the same speed. and reaches the last army man again back. Okay, so 2 kilometers. Okay, fair enough. So when he gets to the last army man, the last army man has reached exactly the spot where the army man at the front was when the officer started. Which means, can I say the army man at the front was at 2 kilometers? So the distance covered in this meantime by the troop is equal to 2 kilometers. Let's understand the time taken. So the gap between commanding officer and the man in the front is 2 kilometers divided by, let's say, speed of the commanding officer, that is C, minus speed of the troop, that is T. In 2 by C minus T hours, the commanding officer will reach the front, plus 2 by C plus T hours, because commanding officer is moving in this direction and troop is also moving in this direction, so opposite direction. So this is the total time taken by commanding officer to go to the front and come back. In this much of time, the distance traveled by the person in the end is moving at a speed of t. This distance traveled is equal to 2 kilometers. So I can take 2 common and I can cancel with this 2. So what do we have here? We have c square minus t square. This will be c plus t plus of c minus t into t is equal to 1. So plus t and minus t gets cancelled. So what do we have here, guys? We have 2ct divided by c square minus t square is equal to 1. Yeah, or we can also simplify this to be, what can we write this as? We can cross multiply and we can write this as 2ct is equal to c square minus t square. This is the first equation. Now, basis this, let's try to understand what is the question asking you. In this much time, what is the distance covered by commanding officer? Now, 2 divided by c minus t plus 2 divided by c plus t, and commanding officer is moving at a speed of c. So what do we get here, guys? We get 2c plus 2t plus 2c minus 2t divided by c square minus t square whole into c. So 2t gets cancelled. So you have 4c square. So we have 4c square divided by c square minus t square. So c square minus t square can be represented as 2ct. So we have 4c square divided by 2ct. cc gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. So all that we need to calculate is 2c by t. So to get this answer, I need 2c by t. Now we have seen this kind of question in one of the papers. 2ct minus c square plus t square is equal to 0. Now, since I want the value of c by t, what I can do is I can divide each term by t square. I repeat, I divide this by t square, I divide this by t square, and then I divide this by t square. So what do we get here, guys? T and t gets cancelled. So we have, let's say, minus c by t whole square. Then you have plus 2 times of c by t. And then we have plus 1 is equal to 0. Or we can simplify this as c by t whole square minus 2c by t minus 1 is equal to 0. Clear, guys? So when we solve this quadratic equation, let's assume that c by t is equal to r. So our equation is r square minus 2r minus 1 is equal to 0. Right? And when we simplify this, what do we get? Minus b plus or minus b square minus of 4ac whole root over by 2a. So we get 2 plus or minus, this is root 8. Root 8 becomes 2 root 2 divided by 2. Or eventually we get 1 plus root 2 as the value of r. The value of r is 1 plus root 2. I repeat, our job is to calculate the value of 2r. And therefore our answer becomes 2 into 1 plus root 2. So root 2 is 1.414. 1 plus 1.414 is 2.414. So that is 2.414 into 2. 2 fours are 8, 2 ones are 2, 2 fours are 8, and 2 twos are 4. That's 4.828, which is going to be 4.83 kilometers. So again, not an easy question, but a very good application-based question, guys. So again, I'm not adding so far, but yeah, I'm looking at 13 questions from this paper. Let's look at this question. Not a very difficult question, but yeah, diagram is something that you need to draw. So this question says 3 spherical balls are placed in a hollow an inverted cone above each other. Each ball contacts with the adjacent sides and other ball also. And the smallest ball has a radius of 8 and the largest ball has a radius of 18. Find the minimum height of the cone such that the ball does not protrude out of the cone. Okay, so I'm just changing the ink of the pen. Now, whenever I see a cone, 99% of the cases, I try to draw similar triangles here, right? So what we can do is, so we are taking this as the value of y, you can observe. So what we can do is, we can take this triangle, that is OHG, just keep observing. I'm proving OHG is similar to OEF. So in that case, what happens is, we get y plus h, this part, that is OH, by OE. Or let's say OH by HG, y plus 8 by 8 is equal to, this is y plus 16 plus x divided by x. Clear, guys? When we cross multiply this, what do we get here? We get xy plus 8x is equal to 8y plus 8 16s are 128 plus another 8x. So 8x and 8x gets cancelled. Now let's again look at OHG is similar to triangle ODI. Okay. In this case, I get y plus 8 by 8, which is equal to OD is y. I repeat, y plus 8 plus 8, that is 16, plus 2x plus 18 divided by 18. So this I can go with 2 4s and 2 9s. So 16 plus 18 is 34. Clear? Now what will this give me? This will give me 9y plus 72 will give me 4y plus 34 into 4. 4y plus 8x. Clear, guys? That's 4y plus 8x. Just 1 second, guys. Yep, so this part becomes 34 into 4. Let me write it like this only. Yeah, so what do we get from here? So that's going to be 34 into 4 is 4 4s are 16, and I have a 72 which will come back on this side. So let's first simplify this. So we have 5y. Clear? So we have 5y is equal to 8x. Clear? And what are the values that we have here? The values that we have here is going to be 34 into 4, that is 136 minus 72, which is going to be equal to 64. This is plus 64. So from here, clear? So we have two equations here. We have xy is equal to 8y plus 128, or we have 5y is equal to 8x plus 64. Okay, guys? So what we can do here is, we can equate y on both the sides, guys. From the first equation, what I can do is, so first equation I can write y common, I can get x minus 8 is equal to 128. So from one side I have y is equal to 128 by x minus 8. This is from the first equation, okay? And from the second equation I can have y is equal to 8x plus 64 divided by 5. So let's write this. So I have 128 by x minus 8 is equal to 8x plus 64 by 5. So when we solve this, what do we get? 5 8s are 40, 0 I carry 4, 5 2s are 10 plus 4 is 14. That is 640. Or we can further simplify this if you want. How can we further simplify this? If you want to simplify this further, I can take 8 common here. So I can write this as 128 by x minus 8 is equal to 8 common. That is x plus 8 divided by 5. So this gives me 8 ones are 8 ones are 8, 16s are. So 5 16s are is 80, which is equal to x minus 8 into x plus 8. That is x square minus 64. Or I get x square is equal to 144. Or I get x is equal to plus or minus 12. Now the value of x cannot be negative. So therefore the value of x is equal to 12. Now the minimum height of the cone. The minimum height of the cone, if you observe, will be y. Using this part, guys. So the minimum height of the cone here would be the value of y plus 8, that is 16, plus x, that is 2x, plus 36. That means we need the value of y. I repeat, I get y plus 16 plus 2x. 2x is for this part, 16 is for this part, and 36 is for the last part. That means I need the value of y. If x is equal to 12, let's replace it here. So y is equal to 128 by x minus 8, right? So y is equal to 128 by 12 minus 8, that is 128 by 4, that is equal to 32. So we have 32 plus 16 plus 2 12s are 24 plus 36. So 16 plus 24 is equal to 40. 40 plus 68, and therefore our answer here becomes 108. That is going to be your final answer. Clear? So one last question for this paper. Now, if the lines are concurrent, what does concurrent mean? Concurrent means they pass through the same point. Clear? So passing to the same point, but if I see I have ax plus 2y, let's say, is equal to minus 1, and I have bx plus 3y is equal to minus 1. So if I equate these two, then what do I get from here, guys? I get ax plus 2y is equal to bx plus 3y, or we get the value of y is equal to x common a minus b. Clear? Similarly, if I look at this part, cx plus 4y is equal to minus 1. Let's equate these two here. So we would have got bx plus 3y is equal to cx minus 4y. Or here we get the value of y is equal to b minus c whole to the power, also whole into x. Now both the points are going to be same here, guys. So we get x into a minus b is equal to x into b minus c. X gets cancelled. So eventually I have a plus c is equal to 2b. Now whenever I have a plus c is equal to 2b, which means these three terms are in arithmetic progression. Clear? Because in arithmetic progression, if a, b, and c are in arithmetic progression, then a plus c by 2 is equal to b, or we get a plus c is equal to 2. 2b as a answer. Right? So therefore, these three terms should be in arithmetic progression. It's an easy question, but yeah, it again depends on how comfortable you are with this topic. So on a very conservative side, I'm looking at around 13 odd questions to be solved, guys. So looking at an overall score of 39 and above will be a very good score to convert. In that case, you're also capitalizing on easy questions and also able to convert some application-based questions. Right, guys? So keep solving, keep practicing. If you have any doubts, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you, guys.